This is Margaret Ann Windsor. Peggy Ann Dempsey Childers, the name that I was given when I was kidnapped from Buckingham Palace in 41 and placed in a pigsty near Molson, Alabama. Born in 39, kidnapped in 41, given the name of a twin. Both twins were deceased. I grew up thinking that was my name. My father's the real King Edward VIII, not the imposter that married Wallace Simpson. And with all the goodwill of my Uncle George the Sixth, whose daughter is the illegal monarch, as he was Elizabeth, and part of the New World Order. Now, I want to get to this. Yesterday I put a tape, and it had to do with the mind control patterns. It spans times before I did the book in 77, and so it's been quite a few, and I was meant to tell about them like I've been told don't kill the messenger, and the messenger would be me. People didn't want to hear it. I'm going to see if I can get this here. And I see that I can. It's in a Hustler endorsement of April 84. It's cryptic. It's of me, Childers, the name they gave me. I've been in a political campaign in October of 83 and flown out to his home in Bel Air twice, and he was helping me in the campaign, the only one that seemed to want to or did. That was when a doctor I'd written about, Larry McDonald, congressman, U.S. congressman, urologist at Piedmont Hospital, his plane had gone down August the 31st of 83, and I became a candidate. Now then, this is from that, but this is in 84, April, Hustler 84. The Thomas Murphy is what I'm focusing on, because Murphy is part of the patterns, as in Murphy's Law, anything that can go wrong will, or Audie Murphy, and I put that on the other tape. When his plane went down on the Appalachian Trail, by the way, near Roanoke, I had no idea I'd end up here. This is prior. I told everybody then that the Audie Murphy was a takedown the plane and everything using mind control. This is another one. This is a psychiatrist here who was born here, the Fort Hood shooter. Born in Roanoke, Benton, he went to the Virginia Tech, where the 33 mass shootings happened, and numerous others. Mind control, using mind control in the patterns. So I want to show this, and you can try to follow it if you care to. This is Century 16, Aurora, Colorado. This is James Holmes, who's programmed and just as much a victim as anybody in the mind control murders. He's being treated for mental illness, which is the most ludicrous thing you've ever heard of. He's being given psychotic drugs. All of these mind control murders, the shootings in Tucson, Arizona, well, the United States has carried it out all over the world, but the point being there, everybody's accepting the fact that it's supposed to be mind control, mental illness. It's mind control from programming. So I wanted to use the Century 16, and then I want to jump ahead to one that's here, that the girl disappeared August the 3rd of this year, a couple of months ago. Her name is Alexis Murphy. Her car was found in Charlottesville after she went missing, and it was in a Carmike theater lot right there. So there's more to all the patterns. Also than that, but that gives you a start. Here is Eric Rudolph. Now, Eric Rudolph is in prison for the Olympic Park bombings in Atlanta. And the offshoot of that was Richard Jewell, and Lynn Woods was the attorney, and also the attorney for the Ramseys, John Bonet. So you can follow the yellow brick road here, the links, without going into detail. Uh, he's in prison. He was up here on the Appalachian Trail, North Carolina. Butner seems to be a heavy spot for putting political prisoners there, mind control prisoners, and Larry Flint was put there because he told the truth, his power of attorney taken, and he was tortured. Also, another gentleman here in the Roanoke area that helped me, he was put there for 2 years in Butner. It's Caroline Kennedy. I'm going to go to this. Her dad helped kidnap me, her granddad. Joe Kennedy was ambassador to Great Britain, 36 to 45 when they took out my dad. Roosevelt, the New World Order, the Rockefellers, Rothschilds, all these upstanding citizens that are so concerned about you who have the New World Order in place. Now then, I want to go back to Eric Rudolph. He was up here on the trail. At times, he was actually here in Roanoke, at least a couple of times, while I'm starving and freezing on the Appalachian Trail. When they found him, he was programmed to go exact. They always knew where he was, the law enforcement agencies. When they found him, he's acting under mind control, so he's told to go there. He is found at 4 o'clock in the morning at Murphy, North Carolina. And the name of the policeman, who was new to that area, by the way, is Detective or Policeman Scott. The Scott is very important in all this. So that's that on it. So I think I also wanted to do this. Yeah. This is Larry Flint, the people that were programmed to shoot him, kill his attorney in Butner. His attorney in Lawrenceville. The movie was made. You didn't see anything of that in the movie, just like the King's Speech and the Queen and all this. There's a question, I'm told, is if the real Larry Flint survived. Supposedly, and he was gunned down with a magnum, and his guts all over the street of Lawrenceville. So you can, I don't know, make of it what you want. I was out there, I don't know, I talked with a man who cared to get involved, you know. I want to go back to when I did the book, and I'm going to turn this around, and I'm going to have to hurry because it gets too long to upload. That's me. I have thought to stay alive. Thought it was because I did the book in '77 about mind control and programming. I'd worked for doctors, how you can modify behavior and all this, and program people to run out and shoot or kill or commit suicide. Mainly how deaths are made to appear of natural cause. That being, you can create an illness and you can cure it. Now, I can't go into all the details. It's the power of the belief and of dreaming and imagery. And you wouldn't need the Obamacare, you wouldn't need the hospitals and all the equipment that seems to have exploded. Rather than finding a cure, the only thing that's come out of it is you need more equipment that goes into the hospital, more doctors, more research, no focus on a real cure at all. So I want to go back to the deaths of Warren and Rosina Matthews at Piedmont Hospital. They were forensic pathologists where Larry McDonald, the congressman doctor, was. There was a death there that my attorney, Gene Kaiser, gave me the file on, what was left of it, and he said he's a former Fulton County, Atlanta District Attorney, Eugene Kaiser was. The police came in, confiscated Jean Strokerman's file, and her file led back to the one person who was decent and all this, and it was Dr. Jonas Robicher. He was head of psychiatry at law at Emory. Okay, he referred her file case to Eugene Kaiser. And guess who took over when he was murdered, by the way, Robicher was? Jimmy Carter sat in that seat as law professor at Emory after he died, after Robicher died. Now then, I'm going to run over if I don't hurry here. Jean Strokerman went to work at Piedmont, and on Christmas Eve of about 76, maybe, I think, she was gunned down. The doctors that she was suing had her killed. Nothing ever came of that, even though I went to bat and all this about it. Okay, Warren and Rosina were killed. They were killed back, I believe, in 71, and you get into the Watergate tapes and all of that. The persons that killed them, his name was Billy Jack. And I remember when Larry Flint was shot, and I was doing the book. This is about March of 78. Tom Sharon was the district attorney in Cobb County, Marietta. He was on TV about the time Flint was shot and said that they were going to retry these murders of Warren and Rosina Matthews because the girl, her last name was Kidd, and I did not know that until now when I was trying to find the exact date that Warren and Rosina Matthews were killed. She was supposed to be hypnotized. She was. I can take you to the place. I doubt it's still there, but about where it was at in Marietta, where she went to a doctor and she was hypnotized. Okay, this would be in court transcripts. Anyway, there were 7 of these guys, and her name was Deborah Ann Kidd. Okay, she was hypnotized, so supposedly that would make her testimony not valid. It's supposed to be retried. And I'm going to jump ahead because this is what is involved in a timeline. So I'm going to jump ahead to when I come here to Roanoke. The other tapes I've put on there tell what's happened to me in between, at least some of it, and the laws that are broken. When I came to Roanoke in October of '86, got off with nothing to wear, cold, freezing, no place to go, only a British lady at the bus station at 3 o'clock in the morning saying, we'll come back and get you here. And I hope and pray to God they do. And people here pay for their crimes. But I'm going to say the first job that I had here, I had to stay at the Salvation Army and get tossed around, and that's a hell of a game there. And you're supposed to be so grateful for just a little handout when you should be living in Buckingham Palace. Excuse me. But anyway, the first job was a live-in, and it was for Etha Kidd, K-I-D-D. And now I'm going to go back to the name Kidd, Warren and Rosina Matthews murders that I wrote about, and they were telling about, really, it's how you can cure an illness and create it. So you wouldn't need any equipment, just certain imagery and stuff. So there's your economy and all these wealthy people. Now then, I'm going to stop there because I want to make a point. The New World Order has taken over everything using, well, it's the United States and the UN. They're taking over Africa, the oil, the diamonds, Somalia that's going on now, Kenya, the Westgate, the Israelis going in, and the United States military has trained the Kenyan. That was a British colony. So was Rhodesia. So was everything, or most of the things in the South Florida seas down there in the Central America. Now it's controlled by the United States and the New World Order. And I take it you all can go from there, because I'm being worked over from, excuse me, asshole to appetite here. Not one person will step up to the plate and help me.